Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we're looking at a new Raichu. One that on the face of it doesn't look great, but could actually be used to engineer some rather phenomenal comebacks. Now, our translation here does come from the lovely David Hochmann over at RappelmannTCG. And starting off, the 120 HP, not good. Stuff like Zoroark will run through it. And the weakness to fighting, not good, because Buzzwole, I mean, look, it's still everywhere. So it's not the most sturdy Pokemon we've ever seen. Retreat cost of 2 is actually hyper annoying, given that the good Raichu from X and Y had free retreat. Make up your mind. But it's a lightning Pokemon. And lightning Pokemon is great. You've got Electro Power to do extra damage. You've got Thunder Mountain to reduce the attack cost. And then, of course, there's all kinds of stuff like Zera, Aura, and like Jolteon that we're all playing at the moment. And I know Jolteon isn't out yet, but believe me, as soon as it is, we will be. Lightning's a great type right now. And, you know, resistance to metal's not terribly relevant, but you never know, one day it might be. The exciting attack here really is the first one. And what it says is, if you have 3 or more prize cards more than your opponent remaining, you may attach all lightning energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you like. All of your lightning energy, ladies and gentlemen, you get all of your energy from the discard back. This is really, really good. We've seen Turtonator and incidentally Zera Aura that get 5 energy back from the discard as a GX attack. This could potentially get you like 15. Now, it probably won't, but it could. I mean, we saw Alola Marowak, which for each energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon, all of them in entirety, you can attach a fire energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you like. We've seen plenty of Pokemon that have abilities like this, or attacks like this. We have not seen anything that has quite the power of this. This is redonk. And then, of course, we get back to the qualification, because it is a rather large and important qualification. You can only do this if you are behind by at least 3 prizes. That being, ignoring anything like Xurkitree that puts extra prizes out. This means you've got 6 prizes left, your opponent's got 3 or fewer. You've got 5 prizes left, your opponent's got 2 or fewer. And your opponent has 1 prize left while you have 4. Okay. Now, in that last scenario, it's not likely to work. Because here's the thing, right? Raichu's got 120 HP and it doesn't have a great weakness. So Raichu is probably going to get KO'd. And some of the initial reactions I saw to this card were, well, hang on a second, you're already down by at least 3 prizes. This is an attack. And then when you use the attack, you then go down by another prize, which means by the time you use this, you're like 4 prizes down. How can that possibly be good? And I've talked about this on a number of Pokemon in the past. If you use an attack to accelerate energy, your opponent can just Guzma whatever you put the energy on and KO it. The thing is, this is not just attaching some energy to one of your Pokemon. This is attaching as much energy as you like to whichever Pokemon you actually want. That's what's crucial here. Your opponent can Guzma and KO, but if you get enough energy out here, they can't Guzma and KO all of them, which is redonk. But then, of course, you've got to really make this worth it. This is not, hey, I'm getting set up for the first couple of turns. This is not Xerneas. Xerneas, great Pokemon. Got 2 energy, it was out of your deck, not your discard. Got 2 energy out of your deck in the early game, set you up for the game. This is not that. This is, because you're going down by basically 4 prizes, and maybe Raichu doesn't get KO'd, but let's assume that he does, or she does. You're going down by 4 prizes. So this needs to be a last stand. This needs to be a gigantic comeback Pokemon. This needs to be, look, you might be ahead by 4 prizes, but my board state is such that you're screwed, mate. And that's where Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX comes in. You see, Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX, and this has actually been winning in Japan already. I'll pop a link to a video about a winning list in the description. And this is a great Pokemon. Now, you got the main attack here, 150 for free energy, and then search your deck for free energy and attach them. That's adorable. But the main attack we've got here, free energy, 200, add 3 more, and you also do 170 to the bench. Now, when I say main attack, I mean one we're primarily concerned with. Obviously, the main attack is one you can use more than once. And this can get you like 4 prizes. Heck, if you can find yourself against a couple of damaged Tag Team GXs, maybe you use Tapu Koko in the early game. Spread a bit of damage around. Or maybe you use a Latios for the exact same reason. Then you can potentially taking 6 prizes in a single turn with this. One of the difficulties is it takes 6 energy, that's a lot. In comes Raichu. And Raichu will work rather nicely here indeed. I like this Raichu. I don't think you can use this for putting free energy on a Tapu Koko and doing 100 because you're down by too many prizes at that stage. Even Zero Aura free energy for 160 seems a bit too weak at that stage of the game. This is for a final, confident last stand, and it's got to be Pikachu and Zekrom. And that's the other thing, right? Let's say you've taken 1 prize and your opponent has taken 4. You use this, and then Raichu gets KO'd, and then you've got 1 prize before you lose the game, and you've still got to take 5. Would you not want a 6 energy Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX? Or maybe even a 6 energy one of those, plus a free energy one on the bench, and then start using stuff like Ace Roller and Max Potion, and just stop your opponent taking a KO. Because you might have 1 prize remaining, but we've all heard of a 7 prize game. Your opponent's got 1 prize remaining. You make them KO a GX. So they've essentially got to take 2 prizes. Go up to 7. Well, how about having 1 prize remaining and forcing your opponent to take 3 off a Tag Team GX? Making them play an 8 prize game. And Raichu works here beautifully. You play an 8 prize game, you make your opponent KO a Tag Team GX to win the game with 1 prize remaining, except you've got multiple Tag Team GXs and they're all powered up and ready to go, and then you smash. And yes, I know that 150 on Pikachu and Zekrom won't KO everything, nor in fact will 200. Don't forget you've got Electro Power here. So even if you've only taken 1 prize, and there are no damaged Tag Team GXs on the field, you play a couple of Electro Power, your opponent's got a Tapu Lele on the bench. Even if 6 prizes seems unreasonable, 5 doesn't. You drop a couple of Electro Power against a Tag Team GX with a Tapu Lele on the bench, and you will get 5 prizes in 1 turn with this. That is what Raichu does. Speaking of which, don't forget we've got the Raichu from Burning Shadows, which has got the ability that when you evolve up, you can get instant paralysis. So actually, if you've got a couple of Pikachu out, what you could do rather nicely here is use 1 Raichu to accelerate energy, while you use a second Raichu to paralyze your opponent, forcing them to have something like a Guzma just in order to be able to take a prize. That could be even more fun here. Although I really wish this was a water attack, so I could use it for Magikarp and Wailord Tag Team GX. That would make me so happy. And I'm genuinely a little bit sad this is for lightning, not for water. And actually, while we're talking about Raichu, don't forget about Raichu GX. 210 HP and Powerful Spark does 20 damage, plus 20 more for each lightning energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So if you're behind on prizes here, get a couple of Raichu GX, use this first attack to get a whole bunch of energy out, and then just smash with Raichu while using Max Potion and Ace Roller to heal to make sure you're not giving up any prizes. I think the 5 prizes in 1 turn and extra HP really do make Pikachu and Zekrom the best use for this attack. But don't sleep on Raichu GX, which can work quite nicely here. Now there is a more traditional attack here, but it's just not particularly good. Sorry. Lightning, Colorless, 110. I mean, look. It does 10 more damage than Tapu Koko's attack. But Tapu Koko's got Flying Flip and Free Retreat and is a basic. And weirdly only has 10 less HP. I don't think this is a good attack. Even bearing in mind you've got stuff like Electro Power and Thunder Mountain to do more damage while it costs less. No, we've got better lightning Pokemon. Raichu is here for the first attack. And if you want to rely on this to fuel you for the game, it ain't going to be great. But if instead you want to use this to power up a big beefy Pokemon to make a last stand when you're behind in the game, possibly while paralyzing your opponent because that's also a Raichu, yes, ladies and gentlemen, all of the yes. I'm going to be giving Raichu between 3 and 4 Wassies. I don't think it's an every game, every deck kind of card. Even when you play it, there'll be games you go ahead and don't need it. But it is a kind of card where if you've got a 1-1 line in your deck, there will be games where you should lose and you're way too far behind and it looks hopeless and then you just reel off 6 prizes in a row because you've gone and got 2 fully powered Pikachu and Zekrom and your opponent's got nothing. Or you just take 5 or 6 prizes in a turn and win the entire game right there and then. Sounds like fun. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to tell me what you think about Raichu. So do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but I would please ask you to remember the most important rule of all. Be nice, would you? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. That is the best place to do so, and there are bonus pods available. Just saying. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where I talk about other games and we have fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.